Test Drive is a reality fair for high school students. They start out in their classroom and they get to choose what they want their career to be and what their entry-level salary would be.
And then you get here and you go in the conference room and you go around and pick a house, a car, your credit card payment, and then you come out and spend all that on clothing, auto insurance.
After you get all the stable things that you need, if you have kids, you get childcare, student loans, you figure out what billing, work on getting a savings account, and then after that you're going to work on getting clothing and food and insurance to cover all of that, and pets if you wanted to, or entertainment.
I ran out of money, so I had to get a second job, and then my student loan payment was too much, so I had to go to the 12-year plan.
While there's no substitute for real-world experience when it comes to making big financial decisions, I think simulations like Test Drive give students a chance to kind of practice a little bit before they get into the game of real life and understand some of the ramifications behind some of those big decisions they're making.
It's so important to have a program like Test Drive to give students an idea of what reality actually looks like. You can take a budget and theorize about a budget all day, but to actually be able to see it in action, something that includes all of the different areas that you spend. We have dice at some of the stations where you have to roll. Did you get any snacks at the convenience station? Did you eat out at all this month? What kind of things actually go into a budget that are realistic outside of just housing, your car, those things?
There's a lot more things in expenses of living than I originally thought, and budgeting is a huge thing, and the cost of living is very expensive.
The clothing was a lot more expensive than I think about when I'm a teenager because I don't have to pay for it all.
Some of the emotions that come out of the event are really interesting to me. Some of them are shocked, of course, when they see the sticker price of some of the things that they've never talked about. We as a culture don't like to talk about money very often. We don't talk about details, we don't talk about salaries, we don't know how much our parents make or spend on things sometimes. So for the first time, a lot of them are thinking about how much to spend on a car, how much to spend on a house. So the perspective of those things is really valuable.
I think coming here is kind of eye-opening for students. It was for me at least.
The Test Drive tables are staffed by volunteers. About half of them are Royal volunteers and about half of them are volunteers from our community. We work with our local chambers.
It's a really great opportunity to tie what we learn in class to real world examples and talking to the 70 plus experts that we have sitting around for them. For teachers, it's like having 70 aides in your classroom, right? You have one teacher per student, which is absolutely ideal.
And we want them to have a good idea of what the reality actually looks like with a budget. Is this something that they could see themselves doing? Is their budget something that's going to work with the choices that they want to make when they reach adult stage? If a school or organization is interested in taking part in a test drive, you can reach out to our financial education team at testdrive@rcu.org.